Hey, I wanted to make a video of about a disturbing trend I've been noticing. You know, in America we have a lot of nationalism and stuff like that. Back during the Bush administration, we were moving like it was quasi-fascist. I mean, we had like protest zones were regulated. Um, you had free speech zones. You had to go to free speech zones to protest. Which nowhere in the Constitution does it say you have a free speech zone. You have the right to assembly, but what have you. And well, anyhow, there was a big backlash in the United States against this type of basically fascist movement. Um, and one can argue that we still have a lot of the instruments of fascism within our system still to this day. I mean, the NSA spying on everybody. Um, even the election of Barack Obama uh, was met. I mean, most people voted for him just because of the whacked out policies of our country. Like we were invading countries left and right. We were restricting freedom of speech. We were doing all sorts of things, and there was a backlash against that. So Americans just like, no, we just had a backlash against that. And you can see that backlash across the political spectrum in America. So, well, a lot of us, on the left, bash libertarianism and libertarians. Um, I mean, their ideology is well, it's idiotic. I mean, the privatization of everything and the dismantling of the government is a bad idea, but you can't really call them fascists. I mean, not in the sense of fascism, the actual political ideology. Um, so even on the right, we had a backlash against a fascist movement in America. So you know, America's not doing okay, but we're not terrible. So we're kind of moving back from the abyss. Um, this isn't true in other countries. Um, there is nationalist movements all over the place, like everywhere. I mean, you could just screw around on the internet, on YouTube, and just go to random videos. If you're like me, I have a degree in history, so I happen to look up videos on Nazism and all that type of thing actually regularly. Um, and I like to read the comment sections. And like the comment sections are interesting mostly because they're incredibly telling. It used to be that I would see a lot of Americans, quoting Nazism and stuff like that. I still see that, but not as much as I used to, which corresponds with what I was talking about, how there's been a backlash against fascism in this country. But I'm seeing comments from other countries, countries from the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, that are really disturbing. Um, and this all culminates or expands into what I'm documenting here. I got a bunch of stuff on the Golden Dawn, which is a political party, a political movement in Greece. Hyper nationalistic. Well, nationalistic's one. Being a nationalist is one thing. These guys are Nazis. I mean, they are Nazis, flat out. They are a neo-Nazi organization. Um, Flat out, they're Nazis. I'm linking a whole bunch of story articles on them, including video articles I found on YouTube about them. Um, so you can get educated on it. I mean, odds are you probably are educated because most of my viewers, the ones that actually view me, actually are smarter than me, which is weird. But whatever. Um, putting some articles down there so you can read up on them. In Greece, they were like the third most powerful political party in the country. Um, the government's cracking down on them, but I don't. That's another reason I wanted to make this video because I see a disturbing parallel. Uh, in Germany, the German Republic, back in the day, had a similar issue with the Nazis, the actual Nazis, when they were rising up. The German state basically attempted to arrest them, attempted to control them, and it just kind of spiraled things out of control and made them more popular than they were before, which eventually led to their national rise and democratic election of Nazis to the German government, which eventually turned Germany into Nazi Germany. And from the articles and just the general stuff I've been seeing and what's going on in Greece, I'm seeing a parallel. So I'm linking stories of the Golden Dawn Party down here, so you can read about them. Again, these guys aren't quasi-fascists or like how everybody said Bush was a fascist. These guys are full blown fascists. There's no questions here. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts here. I'm linking the national. They have Golden Dawn has like a theme song, right? And the Golden Dawn theme song when I first heard it, because I found one with English translations, so I have it here and it's down there to watch. Well, actually, now I think about it, your country might not let you watch it. I don't know how your country. I mean, America has absolute free speech, so we can see whatever, anything. Well, although you probably can, because I'm seeing people from various countries commenting in the comment sections. Anyhow, they have a theme song, and it's a radical. I mean, it's basically a parallel. Like it's almost identical to the Nazi theme song, which was gosh, let's see if I can say that word. Uh, you know what? I'm not going to try to butcher that because I know I can't say it. The German Nazi theme song was high lie something lies. Well, anyhow, I'm not going to try to butcher that. I'm also linking that in there under my Nazi section because I'm putting a documentary on the Nazis and how Hitler rose to power down there with the Nazi theme song. So you can actually see the parallel between the Nazi theme song and the Golden Dawn theme song, and it's amazing because it's like Golden Dawn just like picked up Mein Kampf and it's like, let's do this. But anyhow, that's a major political movement in Greece, and this type of nationalism is happening all over the place, particularly in Europe. Um, it's just really it's a disturbing trend, and it's something that generally happens when we have an economic disaster, which we had. Um, but yeah, I mean it's something to keep an eye on. I don't know if you're having nationalist movements where you're living or not. But yeah, from what I can tell, it's pretty global. Um, Again, it's one thing to have a nationalist movement. I mean, it's one thing to be like, oh, well, we landed a man on the moon. Take pride in that. I mean, that's something to take pride in. Um, these guys want to like basically uh, murder everybody. That's not their folk. So I mean, they're Nazis. I mean, this is again. I can't emphasize this enough. They're the real deal here. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna leave all these links down below so you can look at it. It's a very disturbing trend, and I don't really like how our media or the American media. Well, the American media only kind of covers it. I guess our what is it? Underground media. The stuff that you see on YouTube. I'm uncomfortable with the way they're covering it because they're very dismissive of this. Like, oh, it'll go away. It's nonsense type thing, and it's just like, okay, no, like when when they have when you have like a Nazi party gaining that much political clout in a country, that's not something to go, oh, that's nonsense type of thing. No, no, that's like they're fucking Nazis. Like, whoa, whoa. So yeah, I'm uncomfortable with the coverage. Like this is something to be pay. You should pay attention to this. Like this is something to pay attention to. So again, I got some articles, some documentaries, some news interviews. Some of them are pretty darn long. But yeah, and like I said, the two theme songs, the Nazi theme song and the Golden Dawn theme song, are going to be down there. If you click on some of these videos, they're they're riddled with national, like, well, basically Nazi sympathizers in the comment sections. I would suggest not commenting because yeah, that's going to bring some unwanted attention to your channel. I would read them though because it's very disturbing to see it. Nazism isn't exactly something you can argue with. I mean, that's not a political party, I mean, it's not like the Republicans are retarded and insane, but I can tell them they're retarded and insane. The Nazi will shoot me in the head. All right. So yeah, and I've had other encounters online, and I've had well, Nazis attempting to convince me that I'm wrong. And I assume they engaged in discourse with me because I'm a 6'4" white guy. So, I'm like their definition of Aryan or whatever, or at least close enough to warrant to be argued, be argued with and try to convince me of their ideology. Yeah, and I'm kind of disturbed that I run into them so often. And like I said, it's not always an American, which disturbs me even more. Because I don't know, like I don't know. That bothers me slightly more. I just kind of expect that from my fellow Americans, who not very educated and such. But when I'm encountering folks from Sweden and Denmark and other countries like that, it's pretty disturbing. Another thing to note is like on the not so much the Nazi theme song one, but the Golden Dawn theme song one. If you go through the comment section, unless you're bilingual in like Greek, which obviously I'm not. I can't really tell what the argumentations or who's arguing with what. I can tell that it has a lot of thumbs up. So I'm gonna. So yeah, something to keep an eye out on. And yeah, this is gonna have probably a lot more links than normal because this is a pretty heavier subject than I'm normally talking about. But yeah, there's a global rise of National Socialism. It's back, and I'm really disturbed by it. I was disturbed by it in my country, but we tend to ridicule them here. They're not getting ridiculed over in Greece. Like, so yeah, something to keep an eye out for.